Hello, welcome. Today we're going to talk about how I am building my digital product business. Now, I am not new to this, but I am going full time, full fledged in building this business in 2026. Now, I did start my entrepreneurial journey 2022 of December. So deciding now, January 2026, where I'm like, okay, honing in on digital products. Last year was more of coaching services, but coaching takes a lot of time and I love coaching, but I want to try digital products. So if you are on the same journey or a similar journey, let me know in the comments. I am doing this with intentionality. No burnout, no stress, more systems. So let's get into it. Now, digital products aren't new, but the way that people buy them has changed. So for instance, people don't buy complicated funnels. They don't want 10 offers from the same person. People also don't want the noise. They don't want all the the glitz and glam and the trending or whatever. What they do want is trust. They want clarity, okay? They want simple solutions. There are a lot of people out there that need their problems solved, but if you have all these offers in front of their face, if you're flashing all the glitz and glam, they can't trust you. They feel like you're not trustworthy. So what I'm doing differently in 2026 based on my observation is including simple funnels, simple offers. I'm shortening my list of offers because I think I have about 5, and I think that's even too much. So I'm going to shorten it to like about 1 or 2 offers, like main offers. And then I did mention a funnel, and then I'm going to, go from there. So before I created any of my digital products, any of my coaching services, any of my products in general, let's be real, I had to ask myself these questions, and I highly recommend that you write these questions down and answer them for yourself. Number 1 is to ask yourself, what am I solving? Sorry, it's a noisy street. Number 2, who is it for? And lastly, what result am I helping them get? Oftentimes, many people skip these questions and wonder why they're not selling. And I come to the realization that if you skip the steps of asking yourself what your business is about, who is it for, figuring out who your target market is, your ideal audience, their pain points, their struggles, you will create offers, products. You're going to have the shiny object syndrome. You're going to overwhelm yourself, therefore resenting your business. So let's avoid that and ask yourself 3 questions. Okay, so this is the exact questions that are actually inside of my Business Clarity Blueprint. It is a wonderful guide that helps you to sell, but it also helps you to identify not only your skills, but to identify what products that you should create and how to launch it. So if you are having trouble in identifying who your audience is, what you want to sell, and how to even launch, the Business Clarity Blueprint is really for you. Okay, because without the clarity, your content won't sell, your messaging will not land, therefore conversion is extremely low, if not non-existent. You want the conversion. Conversion equals sales. That's money. Okay. You need the money. So here's what I'm selling in 2026 and beyond. Okay. So far, I have the Business Clarity Blueprint, which is in the link below, which I'm so excited about because it has made sales. It's made sales because I believe that it can solve someone's problem of lack of clarity. If you are struggling, I needed this when I started my business, let alone entrepreneurship. If you are lacking clarity, if you don't know what you want to build, what business, the model, what skills you innately carry, if you know God calls you to do great things, but you don't know where to begin, how to begin, everywhere has so many steps, but you want to make sure that you're making the right step, I highly recommend that you click the link below that says the Business Clarity Blueprint. It is a step-by-step guide that helps you go from ideation to creation, literally. No fluff, no going around the bush, or 50-step process. It's literally a guidebook to help you, because this is exactly what I needed when I first started my business years ago, when I started my entrepreneurial journey or process or whatnot a few years ago. Okay, so if you are feeling stuck, overwhelmed, confused, and you're called to more, you're supposed to be creating something, building something, I highly recommend that you click the link below to get your business clarity blueprint. Okay. So I do have that offer. I do have a course. It's called the Marketing Playbook. It talks about how to market your products, services on these platforms, which platforms you should be. And this is even after you identified your person, because once you know who they are, you'll know where they're hanging out at. If I sell cupcakes, I don't think I would be on LinkedIn. Okay, so the Marketing Playbook, I'm still working on it. I got to do the audio for that one, so I'm excited. It's marketing. We need marketing. And this was a very, very tricky one that I had to learn along the years, because you can have the best product in the world, but if no one knows that you exist, you will be speaking to the air. You'll be speaking to crickets, okay? So one thing I do realize is that simple, it always sells. And what I'm selling are beginner-friendly digital products, guides, and systems, okay? Systems, because we don't want to burn ourselves out when we are building our business. So the systems that I incorporate in my business, this is a part of my coaching package. CEO Day. No one talks about this, but you do need you in order for you to run the business. And so this entails regulating your nervous system, breath work, moving your body, handling your anxiety and so forth. Because I had anxiety issues, so this was something that was default in my business. Another system to incorporate in your business is a content batching or content marketing system. This is where you are creating content, long form content, such as the one that I'm creating right now, batching it. So you're not rummaging throughout the day, going through your closet to see what you're going to wear next, because you got to create another long form video for Tuesday, but you created one for yesterday, which was Monday. You're more organized when you're creating content, when you have your content ready in your idea bank. Okay. This is what I teach in the systems membership. When you have your content batching day, you're more organized, you're less stressed out. You're not recording each and every day for content. You're not stressed out about what to create. You have everything you need. You just create your content for that day. You systemize it. You schedule it throughout the day whenever you want to post it. Okay. And another system is sales. Yeah. Sales system. Okay. That includes your lead magnets. That includes, I would say CRM systems, but that could be a separate one. When you have a client that you want to onboard, what is the process when they inquire of your services? What is the next step for them? You want to know that. You don't want to go rummaging throughout. Oh my gosh, I need to send them an email. Someone just inquired on my services. You want to be prepared. Okay. So going back to the sales system, this is lead magnet generation. What leads work? What isn't working? Okay. What is generating leads? Have you sent out your emails to those leads? Email marketing. So those are just a few systems that I incorporate into my business that helps my business run smoothly on top of my digital product business. So if you haven't incorporated systems in your business yet, I highly recommend that you do, so you don't burn yourself out. Okay, so that is how I'm actually getting sales and lots of leads. I created a valuable freebie, and I market my leads. I created a valuable lead and I create content based on my lead and my offers, and I put it out there, and I gain leads literally every single day. No joke. I get leads, and I am on TikTok. I'm not really on Instagram as should I say should be or want to be? I don't know. I am on LinkedIn. My number one platform is TikTok. I'm on LinkedIn, Pinterest, and YouTube. Instagram, I'll think about it. I'm still thinking about Instagram. I want to see how it goes for my other account. But yes, so I create content around search. I create search-based content, keywords around my digital products. So for example, how to start selling digital products. That is the number one question that I get often. It's based on your person. You want clarity on who it is that you're speaking to so that you know what to say to them. Goes back to why having clarity around your person, your ideal audience, knowing them, how they speak, where they're hanging out at is so important. That is why I created the business clarity blueprint. If you are having trouble selling, I highly recommend that you go back to the foundation. I know it sucks. I know you may not want to hear that, but it helped me and it helped others, and I believe it can help you. Go back to foundation and see what you're missing. Do you know your audience? Do you know what they need? Okay, so my content strategy or my platform strategy is simple. I am creating search-based content around my offers, and I am creating long-form content for YouTube, short-form content. Now, the long-form is for building trust, so that will obviously take some time in order for you to gain that trust, but that's okay. Consistency, okay? You got to be consistent. I know it sucks. I know we all want the money right away, but it does work. Okay, I've seen conversions. Okay. Also, my short form is how I am being discovered on YouTube as well as TikTok. That is how I'm gaining my leads and my sales from short form. I highly recommend that you figure out who your person is so that you know what you are selling, be it a guide, a planner, whatever that you're selling, a workshop, a course, a mini course. Hone in on who it is you're speaking to, okay? Know where you are selling, know who they are. Go to these platforms. TikTok for virality, for reach, wonderful. Chef's kiss, okay? That is a pivotal platform for me and my business as of now. Did I want to get on TikTok? No, but I'm not going to sleep on it. I've seen it work, okay? I've gained members for my membership on there. I've made sales, lots of leads, and it's like, wow. I wasn't expecting, TikTok, we hear like, oh, you got to dance and sell t-shirts. Don't believe that. I'm still amazed. I'm like, okay. And this is within, let's say, for example, I uploaded a link to my offers October 14. Literally 2 days later, I made 2 sales. I didn't, and this is my guide, 2 sales to my guide. And I didn't, overthink it. I had my guide ready to upload because on TikTok, you do need a minimum of 1,000 followers in order for you to upload that link. So keep posting quality content, which is search-based content, okay? We're not going to tell you this. You want to make sure that your content is relevant to what people are looking for. If no one is looking for it, you can post the best content out there. You can have the best product out there, but no one will know or let alone care, unless if you're pushing it 50 times a day. And we don't want to do that, okay? So make sure you are searching for keywords that are relevant to the to what your audience is looking for. Hence why you have to know your person. It goes back. You see what I mean? It goes back. Because when you know who your person is, who you're solving the problem for, what they need, what problem do they need solved, what is the outcome, the transformation, you'll know how they're speaking, how they're thinking, how they're behaving, their demographics, what do they like, etc. You will, it's like a gold mine. You would not be huffing and puffing about conversions. You wouldn't have a problem selling because everything will land. Your messaging will land. Therefore, your content will be converting. Okay. So, as you can see, I can talk. So I'm a end this out right here. So going back to my strategy, my platform strategy is long form content on YouTube, short form, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok for, so long form is for building trust and short form for discovery because of the reach. And I have a CTA attached to each and every one of my posts. That is it. That's all. I don't even have a website. I don't have a fancy website yet. I'm building it, but I'm not going to wait until my website is 100% together. Okay, so don't let a website stop you or prevent you from making money. Don't let 10,000 followers. When I made my sales, I had about 35 followers. I didn't even have 1,500 and I was making sales. Okay. Don't pay attention to what the gurus are saying. Oh, I have 100,000. I promise you don't need all that. Don't wait to get to that point to start saying, you know what, I can convert or I can monetize this account. You can monetize. Okay. So digital products don't work for many because they have too many ideas. They are lacking clarity. They don't have, because of the lack of clarity, their audience is unclear. Because the audience don't know what you're doing, what you're selling, they're confused. And if they're confused, they're not going to want to purchase from you. So it goes back to you downloading my guide, the blueprint, the business clarity blueprint. You got to download it. It'll change your life. Okay. So clarity fixes all of that. Okay. So to conclude this video, if you want to build a digital product business, I'm looking here because these are my notes because I tend to talk a lot. If you want to build a digital product business in 2026, okay, but you don't know what to sell, who it's for, download the download the business clarity blueprint in the description below. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time.